Ask Jenna here with Home Milestone team at Hyde & Company Real Estate. You think you have a 680 credit score, but your mortgage credit score might be very different. Your mortgage credit score and your personal credit score are not the same. Apps like Credit Karma can use some really interesting algorithms to reach your credit score, but lenders might use a completely different scoring system. This means that the score that you see could be 20 to 40 points off of what a lender is actually going to use to qualify you for a mortgage. Here's why your Credit Karma app is not the score that lenders use. When you make a mortgage application, a lender is not going to just be looking at the score given by TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. They might have their own scoring models that take into account credit utilization, debt to income ratio, overall habits, and spending usage. Mortgage lenders weigh risk differently too. They're really going to check into late payments, delinquencies, and any repossessions that you may have on your accounts. Your personal credit app uses a consumer credit score, which is why the numbers rarely match up. So don't panic if your mortgage credit score is lower. That just means you have some homework to do. And they're probably looking at a different report than you. Your mortgage credit score is the number that a mortgage lender is going to use to approve you for a loan. It's very different from consumer models such as Credit Karma, even the direct numbers coming from Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, which are the credit bureaus. Lenders use their own mortgage-specific scoring rules. That means your mortgage can be easily 20 to 40 points different. So if you're looking for your real mortgage credit score, send me a message. I'll connect you with a local lender who can definitely help you get the job done. A mortgage lender is going to be looking at the middle score of your credit bureaus. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Now, a great way to get started on this on your own before you talk to a mortgage professional would be to request a free copy of those credit reports by yourself. You are permitted from each bureau once a year, a free copy, and it's always a good idea to check and make sure everything's accurate. Before you talk to a lender, it may be a good idea to start talking with the bureau to get any discrepancies removed. If you have recent late payments that you feel that you could dispute, definitely work on getting that off before you talk to a mortgage lender. Now, what score is a lender going to look for? If you're trying to qualify for an FHA loan, that's the easiest type of loan to get, the lowest down payment amount, 3.5%. It does require PMI in your monthly payment, so it's going to raise that monthly payment up a tiny bit, but again, easiest type of loan to get, you only need a 580 credit score to qualify. If you're looking for a conventional loan, depending on how much you're putting down, there are 3%, 5%, 10%, even 20% down payment loans with conventional. They typically require more like a 620 credit score to qualify for. That'll get you in the door, that'll get you to the loan. If you need down payment assistance, you're really going to need to get your middle score up to at least a 660 credit score. Some programs will negotiate and they'll work with you down to a 640. Most that I see, most state programs, national programs, local programs, they're going to want a 660 credit score. Now, once you are talking to a lender, you're going to fill out the application, provide as much detail as possible. Before they start requesting documentation from you about your employment and your income and all of that, they're going to be looking at your credit scores. Once they pull that number, they're going to look for the middle score. They're going to be looking for other factors that might affect your mortgage eligibility, late payments, derogatory items, any foreclosures or repossessions. Basically, they're looking at, do you have a history of using credit wisely? If not, there may be a few homework items that you need to do before you are eligible. And here's another reason I recommend talking to a lender before you get out and look. If you want to raise that score as high as possible to qualify for the best rate and to qualify for down payment assistance if you need it, you want to ask your lender for a credit simulation. Now, most big banks and online companies are not going to take the time to do this. They're going to pull your credit score. They're going to say, oh, not eligible, kick rocks, good luck, try again next year. A local mortgage professional should be taking the time to run through a credit simulation with you, saying, here's what you need to do, A, B, C. This will fix your credit to make you eligible for a mortgage. Another hot tip for you, don't start paying down bills until you talk to that mortgage lender. Because remember, credit is funny. They want you to utilize credit. They don't want you to abuse credit. So high balances, that hurts you. Having a car loan doesn't necessarily hurt you unless your debt to income ratio is wildly off and you can't afford that payment. If you were, I've had people, for example, go and they're trying to do the right thing. They have some cash. They think that paying off their car or paying off a loan or paying off an old debt is going to help their credit score. And in reality, it pulls up that old debt and makes it look new, which is not good. Or it removes the amount of credit you're utilizing, and then you have a smaller amount of credit, and everything you do have a balance on looks way worse by comparison. So the easiest step before you do anything, before you make any plans, look at the 3 credit bureaus, make sure they're accurate, talk with a mortgage professional, ask them to run a simulation. Don't start shopping for a mortgage in 2026 until you understand this. Save this for when you're ready to buy a home. Be sure to follow me for more real estate tips. Thanks for watching. If you need a lender who can explain this clearly to you, comment below or send me a message, credit, and I'd be happy to get you started.